Be prepared for offensive language from the start and throughout, and adult and sexual themes.
Can't be a bit of a bunting on a Thursday. We love you, bunts. Well, what a show that was. I mean, I feel more stressed out than Tiffany's poo. I mean...
Look how stressed my shit is.
Look how stressed that shit was. As Dev and Daniela went head-to-head, Tiff shouted the house down and we saw the contents of 4 lunchboxes we can never unsee. I mean, that was filthy. Gillian's a dirty mouth. On tonight's show, we get all the backstage gossip from Christopher Maloney's eviction night. Plus, I'll be bringing you bang up to date with more exclusive house action. And we're going to be delving into what the papers have been saying. Yeah, they've been talking about that house, I tell you. Prom, that's half a promise. You don't want to miss it. But before all of that, we need to meet my beautiful panel. He's a very experienced panellist who's good with his fingertips. It's professional secret spiller, Dan Wad! She's the girl who's never afraid to speak her mind and gives me a mouthful every time. It's Vogue Williams! And finally, my last panellist is a bots virgin, so let's hope he ain't afraid to whip out his funny bone. It's comedian Kojo! But in honour of Gillian, before we get into the shitty gritty, we'll call it tonight, of tonight's show, it is time for my nominations. Ditty, another housemate will be leaving, that much is true. So now it's that sad time when we turn them blue. The housemates facing eviction are Jeremy, Stephanie, and Tiffany. We're going to be talking the crap nominations of it. Don't write it. But let's have a little reminder of who's up.
My first nomination is Jeremy.
Jeremy.
We've all had conversations with him numerous times and he's not taking anyone's advice.
Without Jeremy here, the house would be a much calmer environment for everybody.
My first nomination is Tiffany. She said I was mocking her, and I wasn't at all. I get on well with everyone, and I always make time to listen to people.
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
I think she needs to get out and sort her crap out.
This whole situation with her having a boyfriend is out of control. She's got a boyfriend and she's effectively cheating on him.
She is defensive, volatile, at times selfish. I think her time in the house is over.
The housemates facing Friday's evictions are Jeremy, Stephanie,
Shock horror.
and Tiffany.
I'm so over this shit. Fine.
Dan, let's start with you. Are the right people up?
No. This is an absolute disaster. Like, I'm actually completely distraught because what the issue is that obviously no one wants Tiffany to go because she's become just so amazing as a housemate. But at the same time, who wants to break up the most mucked up couple in the history of Big Brother? Because, and also what my worry would be, I reckon Jeremy might go, you know, but if he goes, you know what she's going to do?
Yeah.
Well, just imagine.
Do you think she'll go?
Well, I could see her doing something crazy.
Scotty T.
Yeah.
She'll go to Scotty T.
I can see her doing something crazy. Scotty T.
True, actually.
Let's talk about it. I mean, it was a pretty much unanimous vote. They all voted for Stephanie, all the people that could nominate. Are you shocked?
I'm absolutely raging because I tweeted yesterday saying, oh, I actually think that Stephanie's quite nice. Eating my words. Listen, she was all right yesterday, like, you can't deny that. I thought she was turning over a new leaf, but she's just a disaster, and she's actually just getting annoying. And like, I think her and Jeremy, I think out of all three of them, I think she's gonna go, because I like Jeremy. He's nice, he's normal, he's good looking. Tiffany's just too hilarious to kick out, but Steph's a bit.
Well, Daniela, Scotty T and Gemma, said that she needs to find herself and sort the sitch out with her boyfriend on the outside. Kojo, do you think they're right?
Definitely. I think what she's doing is.
By the way, hello, Kojo. Welcome. Thank you, Ryland. What a verge.
This is my birthday. No, I think normally it's guys that are labelled cheaters and all that stuff. And I think, you know what I mean? It's like she's in there, she's started a whole new relationship, but she hasn't finished what...
The existing one.
The existing one, do you know what I mean? And... it's really gonna be crazy.
It's tricky.
I agree with Vogue though. I think she's gonna go.
You reckon she'll be out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's already
we'll save
dunked.
that for the
She's
end of the
been
show,
dunked.
babe. I'll come down the panel. Hello. Stop ruining the format, yeah? Well, John said that Stephanie hasn't changed people's perception of her because that's obviously what she went in there to do, and it's her time to go. Dan, is it too late for her to change perception? Has she done too much?
It is absolutely too late. I mean, this was the thing. She went in with these sort of headlines around her. Why was she sacked from Hollyoaks?
The reason
what
why
was
she's
really
in there.
going on there? And it's like, I'm a normal girl. I'm going to prove I'm really normal and sane. And all of a sudden, everyone's thinking, gosh, those Hollyoaks bosses made a completely correct decision.
Oh, dear. Well, let's... God forbid what these are going to say. What are we making of the situation?
I really like Steph. I think she's gone through so much. She's gone through such a journey in here. And like Dan just said, I want to see what happens. I think it's really interesting, but I really feel for the girl.
But what's she gone through? Cheating on her boyfriend,
She's got so much
though.
going
She's
on
cheated
up
on her
there.
boyfriend.
She really has, and I think she's got so much more to show. I just really feel for the girl. I think she just needs
Why
to
do you feel for
have
she
some-
made the decision
Give her
to
a
cheat on
break.
her boyfriend?
It's not right what she's done. It's not right what she's done. I don't condemn that, what she's done. But she's so young. She's so young and vulnerable.
She's not.
Jeremy's her comfort blanket.
Vogue and
I've got to say, you say what you like. Come on.
I've got to say it. Jeremy is her comfort blanket, and you can see when he's not around. She's biting her nails, she's pacing. She don't know what to. He went into the diary room. She's sitting there on the floor, going.
In
oh my
all
God.
fairness, I totally appreciate that, and it is so nice to have someone sit on here and say, look, I like Steph, you know, I don't anything. But in my series, Claire from Steps was my comfort blanket, and I didn't let her touch my finger. I'm just saying. Believe me, she tried. Well, let's talk about Jeremy, because he received 3 out of 4 nominations. Vogue, do you think... Look, a lot of people are saying maybe he's guilty by association, but surely he's got to take some of the wrath that comes with this.
I get it, but at the same time, she is the one with a boyfriend. They have fallen for each other, so even... That's not even the part that's really getting to me about her anymore. I just find her so selfish, self-centred. Even when she's having a meltdown, she's like, I'm leaving the house, and Jeremy says, OK, well, will I leave with you? And she would happily let him walk out on something that's massive for him and all that money because she's selfish.
Well, John did say that without Jeremy, the house would be a lot calmer. What do you think, Kojo? Do you think it would be really calm without him?
Definitely. I think I like Jeremy. I think he's a lad. Do you know what I mean?
He's a lad.
Yeah, I think he's a lad, and I would really like to see him, you know, unshackled from Stephanie, because I think with her, if she leaves first and he's still in there, he could be a dark horse.
Yes, we might even see him and Tiff get off. You never know. You never know. Well, let's talk about her. She is our final nominee. She only received 1 nomination from Scotty T. Dan, are you glad she's up?
No, I'm really angry with Scotty T. That was such a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
How dare he do that? She gave him this action this week. I'm sorry, that is
She gave him a lot of action this week.
Yes. I mean, maybe he's just a little bit scared of her because she is this sort of...
She's dying to get the D.
personality.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Steph and Tiffany didn't take the news well. I mean, Scotty had to dry hump Tiffany just to try and calm her down.
And he was the one that voted.
I know! He's one who voted for her, and then he's going, he had to dry hump her. Security had to come in from Stephanie. We're going to be getting a bit deeper with the security-ish a bit later on, but let's talk in honour of Gillian. Shit. Has anyone here had their faeces analysed?
I would not shit in a box. Like, I drank piss. I drank piss, but I would not.
I drank piss, but I won't shit in a box.
Exactly. I draw the line at shitting in a box, I'm telling you. No.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there. I seriously don't write this. I read what's on the screen. Gillian definitely calls a bit of a stinker. These are getting worse. She definitely caused the drama by getting them to get rid of all their unhealthy food. Darren, Daniela, Tiff and Steph definitely, I think it's safe to say, took it the hardest. Steph and Daniela were hiding biscuits and chocolate trees in wardrobes. Vogue, what were you making of the desperation for a bit of the choc?
Oh my God, I would 100% have done that. And in fairness, like, no offence, but Gillian McKeith is meant to be this, like, healthy detox woman, and she doesn't look well. Like, I don't want what she's having.
That's very true. That's very true.
Well, Darren, Jeremy, Stephanie and Tiffany were deemed the most toxic housemates, and therefore they couldn't nominate. That's how it worked this week. Dan, do you think Gillian, after the assessing... Stop it! After the assessment, do you think Gillian chose the right four housemates?
Is Gillian watching tonight? Because I think we need to come
Here
and get her and sort Vogue out.
I only said what you're all thinking.
Stop it. Dan, do you think she chose the right four?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, they are sort of quite toxic personalities in some ways. I agree with that.
But Darren was a bit of a shock for the house and for, I think, a lot of the viewers as well. He refused to go to the clinic. Do you think he deserved to be chosen co-Joe?
I think she...
I mean, I know he's been a bit constipated, but...
but the thing is, remember, from her perspective, she's really... I think Darren being in there shows that she's really trying to help, and it's not just for the show. And I think she still believes that Darren's looking really good in there, by the way. Do you know what I mean? But I think she genuinely kind of wants to take him over that last
But tonight
chapter.
was interesting, though, wasn't it? Because you saw him crack for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I don't think he is coping that well. I think he's keeping us all boiled up inside, and actually, he's close to Stephanie, so I think this probably helped him.
She can see through it, didn't
Well, maybe she was just trying to let it all out. Let's have a strong bit of chat. Give him a round of applause. Now, on Tuesday night, we said bon voyage to the fifth housemate to be evicted from La Maison de Grand Frère. That's French for the Big Brother house, yeah? For those of you that don't speak Francais, what happened to Christopher Maloney is coming up next. But first, though, it's time to get lyrical. The house has spoken, it was time for noms. They spoke some truth. Gillian dropped the bombs. Friday's eviction out the front door. Who'll be next on my box floor? There's the step for Tiffany, but who's gonna be my next evictee? The BB house is where they reside, but who stays? You decide. This week, Jeremy, Stephanie, and Tiffany all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Jeremy, add 07. For Stephanie, add 14. For Tiffany, add 15. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Welcome back. The Celebrity Big Brothers bit on the side. We're going to be going live to the Box newsroom for another roundup of exclusive house action soon. But first, I think it's time we catch up with a dear old friend now. During his 22-day stay, he spray-tanned Gemma's designer vagina and threw up more times than we care to remember. Although, I must admit, they wasn't connected. He didn't throw up at the... He beat me on the X Factor, but did he beat me on Big Brother? No! We'll be talking to him in just a minute, but first, let's take a look at his aftermath.
Celebrity housemate with the fewest votes and fifth to be evicted is Christopher.
Oh, do you know what? It feels good. It feels good. I didn't think that I'd say that, but it does feel great to be out. Back into reality, really. What a journey. I've loved every minute of it. It's been fab. I just... life on the outside. I'm made up.
I definitely think Christopher was the right person to come out now.
I liked Christopher. Christopher tried to bring some love and some peace in the house, which was a bit of balance in amongst the madness. So, yeah, big up Chris, man. But sorry to see you leave, mate.
What am I going to ask Christopher when I get a chance to ask him a question?
Did you really vomit or was it for telly?
Did you really vomit or was it for telly? This is why she gets paid the big bucks. No,
Yay!
look at that. Wonderful stuff. Thank you,
I think he's a really nice person and I think he brought everyone together.
I thought Chris was a really nice guy, but I think it's a bit too boring, really, to be in the house. It's time to come.
Oh, do you know what? It was so nice seeing Chris. I've not seen him for absolutely ages. He's come across really well, and I'm really, really proud of him that he's managed to turn a bit of opinion around on himself. I had to do it, and I'm so happy that he's done it.
That was great. I can't wait to get home, but I will be back on Thursday. I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, give up Chris Maloney. Maloney, you've been out of the house now for 48 hours. How does it feel to be back in reality?
It's absolutely amazing. I can't describe in words. It's great. It's great.
Loving
I mean,
life.
I miss the house, I miss the guys, but God, so good to be out.
And what's the reaction been like?
Do you know what? It's been phenomenal, you know?
Good!
It's been absolutely phenomenal. The reaction's been great, and I'm so overwhelmed, and you know, the social media and Twitter and everything's just been fantastic.
And you've had time now to sort of look back at the house and speak to people about the housemates and maybe see some of the footage. Has your opinions changed on anyone?
On certain people in the house?
Go on!
Yeah.
Go on!
Let it out,
I've never... Obviously, we're living with Tiffany. I don't really get to see her rants, and I've never really seen a diary room rants. And I think she's absolutely amazing, and I think she's probably going to win this.
You reckon she can win it?
She'll win it.
And I'll take it in the house that no one really thinks that.
No one really thinks it, no, because she does it in private.
She just does it in private. We know she does it in private. Don't filthy. Chris, what's next for Maloney?
Oh, it's just been a whirlwind since I've been out. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm going in the studio next week to finish some songs and stuff like that. So, some new music, yeah.
Should we do one together?
Yeah, well, I've left one on the track for that, so...
Oh, we are! Exclusive. Dan, you can write about that in the morning. Listen, give it up. He's going to be standing here all night. It's Chris Maloney, everyone. But now it's time for tomorrow's headlines in today's news.
Extra, extra. Read all about it.
At 10:48 this morning, the housemates were rudely awoken. However, for once, it weren't because of Scotty T's farting or Daniela snoring. Have a look.
It's not my phone.
What? Someone get a phone. Oh my God.
This is something wonderful out there.
Wait till you see it.
Oh, I hear it.
Look at it gone.
Telephones everywhere.
There's a telephone.
Well, as they say, it's good to talk. Just keep an eye on that Scotty T running up the bills on those sex lines. So I'm telling you... but two people who won't be talking anytime soon are Daniela and Stephanie, following yet another night of dramas.
The atmosphere will be terrible in here again today.
Nice, me head.
But no, we've got to rise above it, and we've got to...
We have got to rise above it.
Just enjoy. Look, what's left now? 7 days?
8 days, yeah.
It's not that. I'm not speaking to her no more.
I don't know what happened between the two of y'all.
No, nothing. We were just... I was just getting a bottle of Coke, and she just went, "You do know you're never going to work again after this."
You sure you heard her say that?
No, she did.
Okay.
She can go fuck herself. I keep trying to say that I'm like her, nothing like her. I didn't throw my whole career away 40 years and still trying to make it better. So...
Well, you're young stuff. That's the thing, like...
No, she's just an absolute joke.
Are they going to make up, break up? What's going on now? It's the same every week. Well, listen, back to the mysterious phones. And at 12:05 this afternoon... Who? Do that again. At 12:05 this afternoon, thank you. Scotty T straight on the blower.
This is wicked. Oi, oi. What about that? Hello. Oh, yes. Oh. What if it dials?
What is he trying to do? I've got that. Oh, sorry. Hello? Oh, just a polo top and some jeans. Why? No, I'm not going to take them off. Scotty, is that you? It's Rylan. Babe, what are you doing? No, I'm not going to get naked for you. Go away! Tied on me. Filthy, Geordie Shore lot. Married. Well, thankfully, at 1:09 this afternoon, the housemates found out what the phones were actually there for. He's filthy.
Over the next 24 hours, any of these phones could ring at any time. Housemates should make sure not to miss any calls, because the callers will often be housemates' friends and family. Okay.
Mine will either be my mum, my dad or Sam. They're my 3 phone callers.
I've got to say, Stephanie looks a bit concerned there, doesn't she? And if anyone actually has ever wondered what the GC sounds like during sex...
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I've just put it out there. Just put it out there. That was today's news. There you go. It's time for a break now. Coming up, the man with the exclusives and no excuses. Dan Wootton is going to be giving us his take on what Fleet Street's finest the making of the CB.
Extra!
What? Whoa! I told you! It's Paperboy. Don't throw it, little prick. Oh, right, what's the... Oh, we've got a load of bits on it. Rylan likes it 5 nights a week. Here you are. Oh, only one more day to save your fave. Oh, wow. Well, I suppose I better say it. Who stays? Oh. This week, Jeremy, Stephanie and Tiffany all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 6 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Jeremy, add 07. For Stephanie, add 14. For Tiffany, add 15. Calls to the long number will cost 50 pence plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50 pence. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. Votes cast after lines close won't count. You can find terms on the Big Brother website. Sorry, welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. This is nice, isn't it? This is nice. Just sitting, you know, I've got me stiff drink, I've got a bit of steak, but I just feel like there's something missing. Tiffany?
Stiff drink and a stiff dick and a steak.
The dick. I was missing the dick. I always miss the dick. Right. It's so muggy when you make yourself laugh on the telly. All right, just like Gillian, we've been cleaning up the housemates' crap since day 1. So let's get into the rest of tonight's show. That ended in Daniela telling Steph that she's going to be seen like a lunatic on the outside and she will never work again. Now, she didn't take too well to that, but Dan, let me come to you. Is Daniela right? What is she saying?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there is a certain irony of Daniela Westbrook saying this for reasons that we all understand. However...
And she said that herself. She said, I've been there.
But this is a very good point. As I said earlier, Stephanie came in here to try and revive her image, rehabilitate herself. She's done absolutely the opposite. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but Nick Grimshaw posted this brilliant video of her yesterday on YouTube, on a YouTube channel of her singing a Justin Bieber song in her bedroom. And let's just say there wasn't much of a career to start with.
Oh, Dan! In your opinion. Well, Daniela did go on further, saying that she's embarrassed to even know Steph. Vogue, do you think that was maybe a bit much? Or?
Do you know what? I think that was definitely too much, but I also think it was just in the heat of the moment. I don't think Daniela's actually really nasty like that. It was just to maybe shut Steph up.
Well, the thing is, Daniela, a lot of the time saying that I'm saying it for her own good. Chris, you know her really well.
Yeah.
Is she saying this from the heart, or...?
She's saying it for Stephanie's own good, but, I mean, you know, they're both alike. They're both very similar people.
Well, Daniela even said, I've just said it, you know, I was you, like, I've done this. Like...
Chris, you had your big falling out with Daniela, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't as it was quite harsh for Stephanie tonight, and you know, I think that.
Do you think like what Daniela's saying? She's trying to look out for her.
She is trying to look out for her, and obviously she got emotional afterwards because. But the thing is, she just vented that little bit of anger. I just think it was a little bit too much.
Well, we did see Steph in the dining room after threatening to leave. Do you think it's just all getting a bit too much for Steph now, Kojo?
Definitely, but. Ultimately, I think she's playing the victim as well. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And I think she's been a massive instigator in the house. So I think the longer she stays in there, hopefully, the more she's actually learning, because I think it's going to be worse when she comes out.
Well, I think I need someone to help me understand all of this. The Steph and Daniela bust-up. Give it up, Dr. Pam Spur on the phone. Pam! Pam, you there?
Hello, darling.
Hello, gorgeous. I've missed you. Pam, I've got to ask you. I mean, Daniela and Stephanie, they've only just made up. What's going on? Do you think that makeup was genuine, or do you think it's been bubbling?
Well, I've got to say first, you're missing the dick and I'm missing you.
Oh!
And yes, you know, they both have an emotionally impulsive trait, and they react in the moment. And in the moment they made up a few days ago, it was genuine.
Yeah.
But the door was left open for them to argue again because of their emotional impulsiveness. And when things were brewing in tonight's show, and Daniela made that remark about, you know, you're never going to work again, she couldn't stop that impulse to give that low blow to Steph. So they're like two wounded tigresses just kind of hurting inside and waiting to lash out with their claws.
And what about their body language, Pam? Because, I mean, that normally gives away quite a lot. I mean, how Daniela was sitting, how Stephanie was walking about. What did that tell you?
Well, I'll tell you, when Steph started pacing around in circles, that is that kind of primal mode of plotting. She wasn't quite sure at that point how angry she really was. She was processing what Dan was saying. And then if you looked at Daniela, when Steph kind of raged out of the room, you saw Daniela with her arms behind her head, which is like a classic sort of armpit bearing, which is normally taken as aggressive. But in this, I could read her body language. It was incredibly anxious. Her hands were literally holding her in place because her subconscious mind wanted her to flee the situation. And that told me that Daniela realised at that moment she had taken it too far.
What do you think's next for him, Pam? I mean, I know we haven't got long, but what do you think is next for the two of them? Are they going to move on from this?
Well, they both have a really interesting rage cycle where Stephanie, after a rage, when she's burnt it out, ends up in needy child mode. And Daniela, after a rage, when she burns it out, it ends up in sort of guilty, sort of, I took it too far mode, that maternal streak. So they're perfect pair to make it up. And I see this happening again. I see them arguing.
Just repeating.
They have a rage. They make up and they repeat. And it's this almost like an animalistic mother-daughter relationship they have, like a very dysfunctional one.
Oh, Pam, I do miss you. Pam, we love you.
Look at you, darling.
I love you lot. I'll speak to you soon. Bye, Pam.
Bye, darling. And bye to my lovely mate, Chris.
Love you, babe. Thank you. Let's move on. As we saw, security were called. And Stephanie banged on the task room door to say our goodbyes to Jeremy. I don't know if you noticed, at first, Jeremy just put a towel over his head and thought, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it. Kojo, what did you make of that behaviour? I'm just not going to do anything.
I don't know. I think he was a little bit startled as well, but I think when the security guys came in, I was laughing. I was laughing my ass off.
Who's
Yeah, and one of them was like, Dave, can you see me? That was like his little 5-minute cameo, do you know what I mean? So big up the security guys.
Big up the security. We love you. After Jeremy sort of shied away, he actually gave in and, like we spoke about earlier, he even offered to leave the house with her. Vogue? Do you think he would have?
I just find the whole Jeremy thing so ridiculous because, when girls first meet a guy, you've got it's all bullshit. Like, she's got the, like, you're trying to be the nicest person you can be, everything. Like, I mean, he's seen her Philly nicks, he's seen her poo in a box.
Poo in a box.
Like, he's seen her being an absolute lunatic, and he still wants to go out with her. But then, like, the fact that I think he would have left the house for her, but she would have let him, which just shows you that she's not very nice to let, like, that's his big moment.
Scotty he sees through this, though, doesn't he? Because when the other night he said, she's there, and that's it. It's just that she's there.
Yeah, exactly.
You think?
Do you know what I mean? I don't think it is.
I think he is worried about the reception she's going to receive as well, and I think he doesn't want her to be dealing with that by himself. So there's a little bit of ownership about what he's actually doing, and he's willing to see that through on the outside as well.
Well, let's move on to Tiffany, or as I like to call her now, Tiffany Day. Oh my God! She is a reality star. Dan, I mean, we saw her outburst tonight. Is it real, or do you think it's for the reality?
Well, you know what? I am a cynic usually, but I believe it's real. I think
that's Tiffany.
Yeah, I want to believe it's real anyway. She's such a great housemate, and I love her personality. And she does flip out, you know, at certain times. And yeah,
I seem to agree with you.
I don't know. I really hope it's real, and I think it is.
Well, listen, on that note, get yourself over here,
goodness,
please,
okay.
Because stop the press, hold the front page, and step away from the sidebar of shame. Because for the very first time this series, it's time for Dan Wootton gives good head. Live. Dan, I don't know about you, but this series in particular seems to be making a couple of headlines. I don't know if you've noticed. What about this series has made it so press-worthy?
Well, I think apart from a couple of housemates, maybe three, one of them over on the panel, Christopher, Christina and Nancy, who were pretty boring, didn't want to get involved in the conflict. The rest of the housemates have been brilliant.
Peacekeepers, we like to say on this show. Peacekeepers.
But, you know, the rest have not been afraid of confrontation. They've been prepared to go for it. And I think having a couple of reality TV veterans in there, Gemma and Tiffany in particular, has meant sometimes they're almost producing the show.
Well,
and that is amazing.
I can see exactly what you're saying. Let's have a little look at some of the headlines in question, actually. What have we got up first?
Well, a great
Gillian McKeith, brand Stephanie Davis, emotionally toxic as she enters the house.
Yeah, and this was a great moment, I think, because it was the first time that Stephanie actually took a step back and realised...
And looked at herself.
Yeah, and actually... Goodness me, this is what people outside the house are thinking. And obviously it completely changed her behaviour. And really, as I've said throughout tonight, there's a great irony with Stephanie's behaviour in there, is that she's the one who's actually most desperate to turn around the public perception of her.
I know a lot of people were saying when we announced that we were putting Gillian McKeith in, going, oh, why Gillian McKeith? You know, you could have put someone else in. But what were you making of her no-nonsense entrance? She went in.
Yeah,
she weren't frightened, was she, old Gillian?
No,
we love her.
I think it was just Vogue saying that, actually. But, yeah, everyone else. Everyone else. I thought she was great because, look, she knows how to create drama and that's what we want. And maybe we were entering into a period of calm in the house. And come on, we don't want that. Well, we definitely don't want that in the press.
I wouldn't mind a slow day every now and again, Dan, I'm not going to lie. Well, let's move on to Tiffany's behaviour in the clinic, because it didn't go unnoticed by the press. Let's have a little look at the next headline. Tiffany freakout in Gillian McKeith's detox clinic, the best housemate in years. So what are we making of that?
Well, what I think is this was the moment that Tiffany broke through with the press and the media. So I think definitely on this show, we had noticed for the last couple of weeks that she was becoming a bit of a fan favourite. But, you know, sometimes it takes the press and the media a little bit of time to catch up.
They should watch the show, Dan.
Of course we do. But, you know, I think she's not someone who necessarily was a big star before she went into the house. So obviously she had some more catching up to do anyway. But I definitely think all of a sudden she is emerging as potentially a legendary
creeping out the shadows.
That's why she can't go on Friday.
Well, there was another headline about her, actually. Let's take a look at the next one. What was it? Tiffany Pollard leaves shock fans wondering what she got up to in the bathroom. Now, I can neither confirm or deny that rumour, but we've got another one as well as that one. What's the next one? Oh, did Tiffany...
You're reading this.
Did Tiffany Pollard just masturbate in the toilet? Viewers left shocked by bath romantics. So, they're quite similar.
I know, but do you know what? Like, as much as I do love Tiffany, this is too crude for me. It is. I do think she crossed a line.
You're normally pretty unshockable whenever you've been on this
but
show.
I was
Is this the edge for you?
Yeah, she pushed it too far. I didn't need to know.
Dan, stop it. Please. Sorry about them. You did walk into that one.
They're very rude. They're very rude. No, but look, here's the thing. I don't think she did anything. I think it was all talk. She said she'd gone 30 days. I think she can definitely last 8 more, and that's all we need to say.
Well, in all
about
fairness,
that.
it was her lucky night because she ended up getting it on with Scotty T and Jeremy in the game of Truth or Dare. What were we making of the more X-rated side of the house?
Oh, it was brilliant.
Oh, we loved it. Look, I knew it.
But because that was fun, it wasn't sleazy, it wasn't too personal, it was sort of great fun and frolics, and it was good.
Well, someone who didn't find it that fun was Steph in her
Yes.
bed. I think we've got a couple of headlines about her. Let's take a look at what one we've got. Stephanie Davis to dump Sam Rees says, in love, Jeremy Conn invites her on holiday.
Well, this was the headline that we were all waiting for. I mean, obviously for me, this has been the story of the series.
It has, yeah.
And it's this love triangle, but what's so interesting, it involves this model, obviously Sam Rees outside the house, who weirdly appears to be milking this. So what's that about? And look, I had so much sympathy for him at the start. I had huge sympathy. I felt so sorry for him. And, I'm like, how could she do this to him? But, he's using this to get... And I'm not attacking him in any way, because I still think what's happening to him in there is horrible. But he seems to be using it to get all of these nightclub appearances on the back of it. And I don't know, there's something about that to me which just is a little bit strange, but I don't know if that is the case, and I still feel so desperately sorry for him. I think Stephanie has acted so morally terribly, and it's so wrong what she's done. So I really hope that, I guess what my point is that Sam should have stuck by dumping her. He shouldn't have taken that statement back and then waited for this to happen.
You've said this has very much been the story of the series.
Yeah.
Is Stephanie pretty much a bit of a tabloid dream at the minute with the stuff that's going on?
Yeah, she is. She is, because, there is a sort of car crash that is happening here, and obviously there was a car crash before she went into Celebrity Big Brother, so everyone, I guess, wanted to know how volatile she was going to be. But I think it has been shocking just to see the true extent of
this
the
whole
behaviour.
fallout, pretty much. We've got one more, actually. I think this one's about John. Let me take a look. I'd miss John Partridge the least if he left.
Oh, no.
So this is Darren. Darren saying this. What were you making
I know,
of
and
that?
it's so sad, because obviously I know you and everyone on the show loves John, because he's obviously been such a brilliant guest
he's
on here.
always amazing on here. And do you know what I've got to say? I was looking on Twitter last night. A lot of people were saying to me, God, you're really John bashing on bit on the side. You're really John bashing. It's like, we're not. We're just talking about stuff that goes on in the house.
And the thing is, I love John, actually.
I love John.
I love
think
him
he's
outside of the
great
house,
on the
and
show.
he's so much fun. But weirdly, he's taken on this deep, serious persona, which hasn't worked for him. And I think the problem for him is that there was this tipping point moment, and that's what we definitely realised in the media.
These two could have been the James and Austin.
Yeah, completely. But that nomination, it ruined it for John. I think it ruined the whole series for him, because it felt a little bit nasty, a little bit too personal. Darren took it so badly, and you understand why. And so as a result, the bromance truly
maybe
ended.
Mr. Partridge might be able to turn it around just in time. But for now, give it up for Dan Watton, guys. That was lovely. And as you just witnessed, that was Dan giving us a great headlines. Coming up, we've got a house exclusive you do not want to miss. Plus, we'll be finding out who our panel want out of that house tomorrow. I'll see you straight after the break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side. In just a minute, I'm going to be talking to our panel who are gagging to give their opinions on who should go tomorrow night. But first, I always deliver on my proms. I'll tell you that for nothing. Here's that exclusive I promised you.
Was this male in Hollyoaks? Was this male in Hollyoaks?
Yes.
Yes.
It's for you, Dan.
Okay, are you married to this housemate?
Yes.
Yeah, it's your wife.
Your wife.
Out of the room! Out of the room!
Hello?
Out the room.
Hi, baby.
Oh, babe.
Oh, my darling, I'm missing you so much, baby. I love you so much, my darling. I love you so much. Kids are missing you, but they send all their love to you, darling. We love you to the moon and back.
Oh, babe, I miss you so
Baby,
much. Miss you so
you're
much.
just doing so well. Just hang in there, baby. We're so proud of you, and I just can't wait to cuddle you and just get you on.
Dan, What are you making of that?
That is absolutely adorable.
Oh.
And you know what? We're talking about redemption on this show, and Darren was someone who went in and felt he had a reputation as this love rat, and he felt like he had something to prove, and that just shows you he's proved it.
Yeah, he has. He really, really has. Kojo, let me just ask you, who do you think in there should get a phone call, and who do you think it should be from?
Stephanie. As soon as she answers, I want him to hang up.
Sam, you're dumb.
Chris, is everyone just craving a message from the family in there?
Yeah, everyone. I mean, everyone needs. They need to know what is happening on the outside because no one has a clue, and it's so hard and so difficult. And for Darren there to keep his composure, like the way he did. I mean, I thought he was going to, really break down because he has been at certain points in the house. Because all he wanted was a phone call from his wife, and he's got it.
And he got it. Yeah. He got it. Well, we've kept them occupied all week, cleansing their mind, body, and souls at the detox clinic. But Jeremy, Stephanie, and Tiffany just didn't do enough to stay safe. We've got 55 seconds on the clock to talk about each housemate. When the time's up, we hear the sound. And we will move on. So let's start with Jeremy. Start the clock. Dan, over to you.
Worried that he's going to go because actually he is a great housemate and we need him to stay in there with Steph. But who goes? It's hard.
Bo?
Jeremy, I think he's really nice. I think if Stephanie leaves and he's on his own, you'll see a different side to him, and he just seems like a nice guy and he's a fun housemate.
Kojo?
What she said.
Maloney.
When I first met Jeremy, I thought he was a one to win, and I think with all the what's gone on with Stephanie, I think it's not done him any favours, but I would like him to stay.
You'd like him to stay, Jeremy, guys? Oh God, there he went.
No guy should ever try it knowing that on the outside that she's got a boyfriend. No guy should ever even go there. End of.
No.
Exactly what he said. He shouldn't do it.
Everyone's got a eye candy, so he's got to stay.
He's got to stay?
If he was a female, he'd be called a home wrecker, and it's like everyone's made an exception for him because of
Yeah, but I think he should go.
But
if he's left without Steph, then he might actually be a decent person.
Well,
All we know is of Steph and...
He's absolutely wow! Next up, it's Stephanie. Start the clock. Maloney, what are we making of Stephanie?
Do you know what? I think she's so young. She's a young girl, and she is confused. But I do hope she stays tomorrow.
You want her to stay?
I don't want her to go out. I want her to get back to the way she was when she went
Try and turn it around.
Turn it around.
Kojo.
Book her a ticket to, like, I don't know, Jerusalem or somewhere, and just let her find her soul and spirit.
Let her find her soul. Vogue.
I just want people to stop going on about her age. She's 23.
Yeah.
She's not a baby. She needs to take ownership of what she's done. She's not going to turn it around. She's had 3 weeks to do it. She's made a show of herself before she went in, and now she's doing it again. Can't happen. Bye.
Completely agree. The age excuse is making me so mad. 23 years old, fully mature adult who's lived in the real world. Possibly the worst celebrity Big Brother housemate ever. At the same time, I want her to stay because she's such great entertainment.
Oh! Go. Let's move on. Finally, the lady with stressed out bubble is Tiffany. Start the clock. Kojo, let's start with you, Tiffany.
Tiffany, I absolutely love her. She has to win, hopefully. And she's got a great body.
Chris?
Tiffany surprised me since I've been out and watching all the VTs and stuff like that, so I really hope that she goes on and wins the show.
I'm with everybody else. Tiffany has been the funniest housemate. She's just absolutely hilarious. She's so positive in there, except when she has her absolute meltdowns, but that's what makes it funny, and I want her to win now, her or Darren to win.
Dan?
Completely agree. It's a clean sweep for me. Tiffany is this year's winner.
Oh, what we might
She's reality TV girl. Like, she knows how to play the game. She knows how to be a good reality TV star. She needs to win.
Anyone else? Oh, he's back. Hang on. Hold up.
I have to say something about Tiffany. You guys don't know New York, and Flavor Flav. The girl can rock it. She has it in...
Listen, very, very quickly down the line, who do we want to see go tomorrow night? Dan?
These were the worst 3 possible people to be up. It's a disaster. I guess Jeremy, but
you would like Jeremy? Bo?
Steph.
Kojo?
Steph!
Chris?
I don't want any of them to go, but if I have to pick it, well, I have to be Jeremy.
Stephanie to go. Jeremy.
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 Stephanie.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Slaggy Steph. Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Jeremy.
I'm out of time! Listen, I am bang out of time. It has been a lovely night. A massive thank you to all of my guests and a fantastic audience. Thank you. back here tomorrow night for the 6th edition of the series with people Nina Wadia, Dana, Zoe's Finest, Jessica Wright, and X Factor champ Sam Bailey's going to be here. Plus, either Jeremy, Stephanie, or Tiffany. We're getting a good drill in. Until then, night night.